Rotarian? And the easy answer would be, well, you get to communicate with people in your own community and worldwide. But one of the things that is probably the best way to describe Rotary for me is you have a weekly front row seat to some extraordinary people. And you find out about all kinds of different issues, problems in the world that pertain to individuals you know you're never going to meet, that take part in maybe little villages that maybe you'll drive by on one of your holidays but never go and visit, and by people who sometimes give up their whole life to make a difference. And I think that in Rotary we experience some extraordinary stories weekly, and it tends to sort of shift over our heads. We don't necessarily take it in unless it pertains to something we're personally interested in. But we had a gentleman come here, a very slight gentleman with his lovely son Gabriel, and he had written a book about his adventures. And I saw many people step forward that day and purchase those books. And the proceeds of that book goes towards the foundation that he set up. But we consider that to be our way of giving. I purchased the book and I helped his foundation. But the greatest gift you can give him is to actually read that book and understand the message of that book. And I saw many people purchase those books, so I know some of you have these at home, which is why I decided I wanted to highlight it today. You may borrow mine if you wish, or someone else's who perhaps hasn't got time to read it over the holidays. But certainly I want everyone to open the pages of this book and disappear into the world of Bangladesh. I was raised in a family where I had a grandfather who lived in India for 11 years. And his stories of India were very mixed. It was the joy of the end of the British Raj for him, but it was also the difficulties that the people there faced. And so I had this sort of tapestry of the life of India, and I am not going to lie, I have never wanted to go there. And then I read this book. And I will be completely honest with you. If I was going to go to India, I'd like to go to Bangladesh, and I would like to go to the very place that Jem Monroe speaks of. It is so eloquently written, it is so beautifully put together, and it is an easy, easy read. And it's of all the stories of his family and what the differences they have made. And I just wanted to read the very back of this book for you, because I just thought it was a very good way of explaining it. This book is a book of possibilities. It woke me up. I think it was the cracking of my heart that did it, and took me right into the lives of the world's poorest mothers and children. To my surprise, it's funny, Monroe's intimate writing shines a warm light onto each one of the subjects, so you can hear her voice, her spirit, and her great potential. The best of human nature resonates in these pages as the Monroe family schools, beat the odds, and provide hope in supporting hopeless situations. They have the worst slums known to man, and he is in those slums putting together schools to educate mothers, giving them the basic needs of learning to speak another language, but to help and educate. And the reason he's chosen to educate mothers and set up this program is because, strangely enough, mothers stay. Ladies stay in those situations. They educate the other mothers, and they in turn educate their children. So it's just a domino effect, and he's making a huge difference. It is an amazing story how some of these women are beaten just to have the basic human right of going to school. Because they live in a society that is very different from our own. It's a cultural difference that really widens your eyes and gives you there were times I read this and it made me feel ill, and then there were times I read this and it made me feel joyous. He takes you on this amazing journey, and his ability to explain things to you just brings alive everything that's around him, the people, and how hard they work and how they manage to live day by day in the terrible, terrible slums in which they live in. And I found this an amazing eye-opener, and I was completely glued to this book. I could not put it down. I've read it again since. He took his whole family from Vancouver. They have lived all over Canada, but he took his family from Canada, and and they all went as a team to make this difference. And that's an extraordinary gift. It is something that most of us will know we will never do. You know me, I'm not going to lie. I like my clean water, my high heels, my makeup. I'm not going to live this life. But I really, really take my hat off to somebody who's doing that and found the time to put those stories into this book. These are true stories, ladies and gentlemen, of people who just want a basic human right to go to be educated. And one of the things I learned from reading this book is we are all very much the same, but we are all judged so differently. And those of us here in this room today are judged because we have so much. But you see these ladies, and if you don't know them, you immediately put them on that pile of which they live, which is the junk pile of Bangladesh. And these are just people who want the right to be educated. It seems such a simple thing to do, and so difficult to achieve. And he has set up these schools. The proceeds of these books will go towards these schools. But you can take it further. You can sponsor one of the women. You can help to sponsor the school. And in the spirit of the time in which we are now celebrating, I'm going to ask you to think about this, because I want to take it from the step that he was here speaking to us, to reading his book, to maybe making a difference. Even if we sponsored one lady, we would make such a difference in someone's lives, because we're going to help people crawl out of those slums. Those terrible, terrible slums, where the women still choose to stay. That blows my mind when you read what they go through. He has sketches of people in here. There's no pictures of people, but there's sketches, and you feel you get to know these ladies. And just the times he finds with his own family to enjoy what it is they're doing, and the surroundings of where they are, and the beauty that he does see. It's just a brilliantly written piece of work. I just love it. I hope that Jane comes back. If he does, I urge you to bring a friend to come and hear him speak. I urge you to purchase one of his books and read it. But more than anything, I would like us to move on with this and perhaps think about this as one of our projects for the new year to come. Even if we just sponsor one lady, will make such a difference. You can go onto his website. He has a website. You can read more about him and his family and how to make a difference. But, you know, give the guy the credit that, and just the compliment of reading the words. I know some of you have these books at home. Please read them. We do this all the time. We always purchase books and then we put them down